listening to the AZREIA Show. If you're looking for quality real estate investing information that you can trust, you've found it. Stay tuned and join the tens of thousands of members that have already benefited from AZREIA, your home for education, market information, support, and networking opportunities that will advance your real estate investing career.
So we have John Trautman here today, commercial real estate investor, strategist, been here in the Valley for over 23 years, man. Very successful real estate investor. So John, just take a brief moment, man, and introduce yourself to the listeners. Who are you? What have you accomplished?
Yeah, John Trautman. I've been doing real estate for, I think real estate for 23 years, been in the Valley though for about 13 years investing. Yeah. So started back in the day when I was 24 years old doing the BRRRR model out of Tacoma, Washington. And by the time I was 30, grew that just kind of steady Eddie to about 17 houses. And then, we had that bust in 2008, just kept doing them. 2008 was a tough one. A lot of people lost properties. I was no different. And then came out from that and started investing in single family houses in the Midwest. And then after a couple of years sold, kind of caught it on that uptick, sold for a nice profit, and then decided to reallocate those funds here in Phoenix, long and short of it. And we invested in single family, multifamily, and commercial. And so that commercial piece kind of became my specialty, Okay. It's a less crowded space, and the longer I did it, it's kind of an interesting space because commercials, like when you think of commercial, you think of, it's kind of scary, no one's, exactly. The stuffy dude in the suit, just like it's like no one really talks about commercial. And so I started real small with could have been a house, probably was a house once upon a time, but it was an office, and I carved it up and started doing executive suites and grew that to about 50 executive suites. And what the cool thing about executive suites are you're incubating these people's business and them, and you get to know them, and then they're like, hey, I need
bigger space.
I need more space. So then you end up searching out bigger space, and you're growing with them, and pretty soon.
Cool.
Yeah. So, and what I learned about, and what I've learned about commercial over the years is, it's so much easier than residential.
Okay. Oh, so before we go deeper into commercial, let's take it back. So
Sure.
24 years old, going to how many houses?
17.
17. So let's start there, right? Let's talk about a little bit, because we're majority single family, small multifamily.
Sure.
Here at AZREIA. So there's a lot of young people here, or people starting off as well. So 17 houses, that's a big accomplishment.
So I was lucky. First of all, I count my blessings. I had really good mentors in the beginning. I had my father-in-law at the time, Carl. He helped fund the deals, but he took half the deal, which I'm more than happy. He retired. So ultimately, and then I had a gentleman helping me find the properties, teaching me how to underwrite them. His name's Reggie Brown. Super thankful for him. I would definitely not. I think it's so important. You find the right mentor or mentors getting up off the ground, because if I got the wrong ones, I'd be out of business and be devastated, And so, it's just super, super important to find the right one. So I bought a house, I think, for $40,000. I put maybe 10 into it, appraised for, over 70. We've refinanced it, took the money out, and then, stabilized it, cash flowed positive, put renters in it. So the BRRRR model is what it was.
The BRRRR before the BRRRR.
Yeah, exactly. So we did that, just over a dozen times, and we just found something that worked. And the father-in-law put up the money, and we did the work, and we put it on our credit, and all that good stuff. So we got up to 17 properties, and it definitely served us well. So, and then
So John, real quick, I want to jump in because I don't want to gloss over this fact, right? When starting out, having a proper mentorship,
Yeah.
one, and then two, a lot of times starting out, a lot of people say, you know what, I want to do this by myself. I don't want to give up 50% of my equity to somebody.
Yeah.
Right?
Part of something's better than all or nothing.
There you
right?
go. There you go.
So I would do it all over again. I would do it all over again. I mean, I learned from a gentleman that retired at the age of 40. I mean, I'm 52. I'm still working. He retired younger than me. Damn, I should have paid better attention. Anyway, I love what I do. I just, I mean, I love what I do.
Because I like for people to understand, you know, when starting out, you got to build those partnerships. You built a team. That's what you had. You had your team starting out, which helped escalate your success. So you guys that's listening, you know, feel free to reach out to people and build those relationships so you can, you know, ride that escalator up versus trying to do it by yourself.
Yeah, so I'm going to just kind of mention this. I think I've mentioned it to both of you separately, but you know, we had a real estate education company for 7 years. We had about 3,000 students. The very first step that we do, besides forming an LLC simultaneously, is like get in one of these meetings with the AZREIA. So like we have them go to the REIA.org, look in their city, you know, when is the next meeting, you know, and go and network, you know. So I think the biggest thing is obviously finding a good mentor, but maybe just as equal is taking action. And a lot of people just get scared because it's unknown. I mean, none of this stuff, like, let's face it, like anything new, it's very, it's scary. So, you know, you have to put yourself out there. You have to network, and you just have to find people that are doing things, right? Like, sorry, I just have so much stuff that I want to like. Yeah, so it's like here. We see people like on influencers driving Lamborghinis and all this stuff, but you know, I've always say you got to take a step back. Like, are they? You know, first of all, like, why are they promoting their car? Are they not promoting what they do?
Right.
I mean, so many of the people that I have respect for don't flaunt what they have, but they're like enormously successful. I mean, one of my other mentors that I had more in the commercial space is, you know, very, very well to do. And you would never guess it, not by the way that he dresses or by the way that he flashes. He's not flashy. But those are the people that typically are doing very well. Like,
it's funny. The guy that owns these buildings that we were talking about, he has a Honda Civic, the gas and electric. Yeah. And when I sit in his car, it's all he brags about is how much gas money he doesn't spend. Yeah. And he has some of the biggest buildings.
Yeah. So, I think it's important, like, for motivation, sure. Like, hey, I want this car or whatever. Yeah. But I would say if you're listening and you want to, you know, pay for someone's course or something like that, before you do something like that, just ask yourself, you know, is this person really doing real estate? And two, if they are, how come they're not celebrating it, right? I mean, they should be celebrating it and giving away as much as possible, the information. That's the way I feel. Like, you know, we have time, I'll share everything that's working for me right now. Everything.
Love it. Let's do it.
And so, like, you guys, like, earlier this year, like, I really got into the single family space, more back into it. And it was like, how do I, you know, I have commercial buildings. We have just under 40 buildings. And it's like, you know, that's been good. How do I create another stream of income using single family? And it's been an evolution process for me. I've had to relearn it. And we're in a perfect market for it, for single family, for people to take advantage of on the investment side, for several reasons. So one, we have inventory that's stacking up, right? Yep. So if I could get a three possible 4-bedroom, maybe I could convert and get a 4-bedroom for around $265 to $295, somewhere in that range, okay? And for those of you that think it's not doable, just start networking and put your stuff out on wholesaler lists.
They're out there.
I promise you, no, there's too many out there, right? I can't do them all. So that's why I'm encouraging anybody that listening, just find those. Put about, you want to be in it about 340, all done. Okay. So 260. Here's another piece that so I took that. I'm just going to give you guys the evolution. So when I would get those appraised, when I finished, they're about worth $100,000 more. So I gained $100,000 in equity, right? So they're worth about $440. After 90 days, I could refinance those, pull my money out, and do it again.
Sure.
Okay, so my payment's about $2,100. I'm getting about $2,500 in rent. This is the long game. So I'm like, man, I'm making $400. This is rough.
Yeah.
Like I could get one suite, I could get twice as much for that. But hear me out. So I'm like, okay, but I gained $100,000 in equity, right? And I'm rinse and repeat. And this is like in conjunction with everything else I'm doing. So I have a whole new crew that I vetted and got going. And I could share with you guys how I did that and everything. And then it was like, oh, if I get the same model, but with a detached garage, and I convert the garage to an ADU, now I take that $1,400 or a $400, now I'm $1,400. I'm getting about $1,000 plus for each detached garage, okay? So again, now it starts to make a little sense. Like, let's say we did these 4 of them in a year. We're way outpacing that. We're doing at least one a month right now. But like that's the evolution. Then it's like, hold on. Then I met with a friend, and we have this split pad and all this other stuff that's up, right? Yeah. So he's doing it on his own. He's tripled his income in the last 6 months by taking those properties and doing a room rent. So like if you shared a room, it's $180 per person per week.
So they're one of our pad split. To rent the room. Yeah. Love it.
Awesome. So to give you an idea, like this gentleman, like on average is netting somewhere around $5,500 a door, a house, not a door, but a house. Yes, it's going to be more hand holding and stuff like that. But I think if you get, everything dialed in the beginning, then that stuff kind of goes smoother. He did halfway houses prior to, and it sounds like having a manager of the house kind of added drama to it. So he's eliminated the drama. They're co-ed, he's doing well. So that's that's the direction we're taking it now. And we'll scale it up and see.
You're doing the rent by room.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you want more information about Pad Split, shout out to Ellis Tran. Go to our website, AZREIA.org, and that information is there as well.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that's been kind of the evolution process. I'm still getting the $100,000 in equity, but now the cash flow is definitely much better. So
you're changing the use of that's what it really boils down to in Phoenix, the market, the cash flow, you got to change the use at some level.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are like, why would someone do that? You have all sorts of reasons why people, it's hard out there. Like rents are expensive. And some people are just grinding and working. They're like, hey, I don't really care. I'm saving up for this. I want to do that. Whatever it is, like people, you have people coming out of prison. You just have all sorts of circumstances that people are, looking for a leg up. And this is that opportunity.
Is there, so everyone always asks, can't find a deal or I can't find the money. So how are you finding both of those?
Money's never a problem. Like you find the right deal, money will find you.
Cool.
I mean, we always taught that. Like we have, I put deals under contract all the time, bigger commercial stuff that I'm often like, how am I going to pay for this? I don't worry about it. Like, if I don't take it down, then we'll find some, like a partner. In fact, a lot of deals that I do, like don't require me to put any money in.
But you know what, John, that goes back to your education, right? Because you can identify a deal, right? Once you can identify a deal and you have a deal, then finding that capital is easier because now you can say, hey, I have this deal, right? This is the ARV is X, but we got it at this. This is an opportunity for the hard money lender, private lender, or whatever to be in that deal with.
Yeah. So there's money out there. Like, people are looking to lend money. Money's like been sitting on the sidelines. Yep. So people, margins are getting tighter and tighter. Rates are coming down on some of this stuff because people need their money to be put to work. So, I would say bullshit. Like, if you can't find the money, that means your deal sucks. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. And like, good point. You got to keep digging for the deals. Like, the better you get at finding deals, you'll feel more comfortable doing the deal. Like, I try to get real estate so cheap I can't screw it up. There's my business model.
Yeah.
Like, it always saves you. Yeah. No matter what. Yeah. It always saves you.
Yeah.
Right.
So on commercial, that's always been it. Right. So for commercial real estate, I'll give you an example. Like, the gentleman that you rent from, you said he's 90. So that's a typical seller, like, of a building here in the Phoenix Valley. So he obviously has a well-oiled machine. His buildings are nice. That's not the case usually.
Yeah. Right.
So you find that people, older gentleman, small family, has had the real estate since they built it, and it's tired. I'm giving you like all the ammo right now. So so think about this. If you're listening out there, think about that taupe colored cottage cheese stucco, like funky looking building, overgrown, looks, the granite matches the color. Everything looks the same. Nobody wants to rent it. That's the building I want. And what I'll do is put yourself in this person's situation. They're 70s, 80s, possibly 90. 90-year-olds are usually stubborn. So try to find the 70s. And they wake up at night, I promise, stressing that property because it's sitting vacant. You have just normal maintenance, wear and tear. You have taxes, you have insurance, utilities, you have all these expenses. That is no longer an asset to that person. They've already depreciated it. They are stressed out about that thing. So what I do is I come in and I offer them a low price, but I also offer them an opportunity to make up some of that money because I'm going to offer them for me to buy it from them on term. So seller financing. And typically, instead of going for hard money, someone has something they're trying to get rid of, right? So I'm not chasing the money.
Yeah, right.
So I could get 5 or 6% interest only money. I could get deferred payments for up to a year. Okay. Hey, I just need time. I'm not asking you not to collect, but collect at the end. And what I'll do is I'm going to take a year. I'm going to, put a lot of money into this place that hasn't been, right? I'm going to fill it up. And my worst case for me is best case for you. You got a chunk of down payment money. You have the building is cleaned up. You have tenants. That's something you weren't able to do. And I'm willing to do all that heavy lifting, but I need your help. I need an opportunity to be put in the position that you're in where you're holding real estate. I'd love to be like in that position, and I appreciate the opportunity. I have paid people off early. Some people, like, this becomes an annuity. People do not want to be paid off in a lot of cases. But more importantly, on seller financing, once I get it stabilized, you can, working in commercial real estate really exposed me to how bigger money thinks, like having partners, how they look at it. And you could refinance, you could pull a ton of money out if you want. It's a loan. So now you just avoided taxes, right? You could live off, like, we have a building down the street that I'll give you guys an example. And I know it's primarily residential, but I want to kind of expand, like, to give you guys a little bit of thought. So or perspective. Like we bought this building, it sat vacant for 3 years. There was the owner in it. I looked at the building over and over. I just scratched my head going, gosh, this thing's just rough around the edges. Couldn't quite figure out the layout, but I didn't want to figure out the layout because I couldn't get my mind around the price. Long and short of it, after 3 years, it went under contract and then got kicked out. You want to know the best time to make an offer?
Yeah.
So commercial, unlike residential, first thing I ever learned in commercial or in real estate in general, very first lesson was from Carl, my father-in-law. Said, never become emotionally attached. So what happens though, residential, everybody's emotionally attached. Right. Emotions are so high, but in commercial, like it's business. And when one of these business owners checks the box and they're out and they know they're moving and a deal goes south, they're just done. Like I've gotten buildings for literally half price, half. So in this particular case, we bought it like a 15 or 16,000 square foot building for $1 million. We took a hard money loan out. We've remodeled it, and at 6 months, we put about $200,000 into it on top of our down payment of $200. So we're in at $400. We get it appraised for 2.5. So just over double. Pull our money back out. We hit it right before rates took off. So our payment, including maintenance, utility, like everything, I think is like $7,700, but it generates around 25.
Wow.
So it's
amazing.
like in the residential space, it takes a lot more rentals to get to that. And the reason I'm back into like, it's kind of like riding a roller coaster. All asset classes go up and down.
Right.
Residential and commercial, you have office, which when I say office, what do you think of?
Office buildings.
Yeah, you think run from that, right? Like most people right now, if I say,
yeah.
So I'm going to challenge the way that people think. Like if I said office, everybody's working from home. Office sucks. Vacancies are high. Okay. So let's just say that building down the street I bought for $1 million was like 70 something bucks a foot or $70 a foot, whatever the math is. Well, everybody around me on average paid for about $230 a foot. So what's that mean? Well, it means I could charge a lot less and my margins be a lot better than yours.
True.
So if
bought it for a third.
Yeah. I mean, if you're in the residential space, you're probably 10 times more creative than any commercial person, first of all. Other thing, you're not doing kitchens. You're not doing all these fancy bathrooms. I mean, you're doing carpet, vinyl flooring, kitchenette, drop ceiling. You're keeping it moving. Like
your buildings.
You could do some really cool stuff. Like
the ones I've seen of yours have been really cool. No drop ceilings.
I do drop ceilings. Okay. It just depends. But yeah, I try to make them fun and do cool stuff. I do a lot of murals. I do things like that. That's just not, I have fun with it. Like at this point, like why not?
Yeah.
I mean, the way I see real estate is it's a creative outlet for us, right? So like not just financially being able to get creative in the deal, like the deal itself is fun to do. Yeah. Like the chase of the deal is a lot of it. And then putting that thing together and having people like compliment it by coming and paying monthly rent. Like, I mean, it's to me great. But back to that roller coaster, like you have retail, you have hospitality, industrial, you have medical, office, whatever. And then you have multifamily, which is another crowded space because people go from single to multifamily. Multifamily's kind of congested right now. Margins seem a little tight, but anyways, my point being is there's always one going up and some going down. Yeah. If you're just in residential, it makes it kind of hard. You got to zoom out. You got to look at what's going on, right? So right now, maybe house flipping might be tougher. You got to make sure your product's really on point. We're still flipping, but you got to just, you can't be sloppy. You got to make sure your stuff's tight. So you got to make sure you're buying right and then putting together a nice product to sell. You also want to look at like multiple exit strategies and stuff like that. Right now, I think for myself, like doing some of the residential rentals, this is making more sense. There hasn't been a lot of commercial deals. And so it's just odd that we have 3 offers out. Well, 1 under contract and then 2 offers. But
so what do you say to the person that's in the single family world and they want to make that transition, or they think, oh, it's too big, it's big numbers, it's totally different. What's the mindset you had to have to go that route?
Yeah. So I was blessed. Like, honestly, and so, the mindset, like, it all goes back to try to find a mentor or something. Like, one of the last mentorships that I did for Ricky when I had the education company, what I really realized was we thrived in the commercial space. In fact, one of my partners still teaches the education in flipping commercial. Okay. Just because you can make, 7 figures on a flip. I want to think long term, so I think like if I flip it, great, but I want the opportunity to take it down and own that asset long term. Like, to me, that's otherwise you got a job, right? Yeah. Like, I like to think long term. Don't get me wrong, I'll flip something. Yeah, but we also have a decent portfolio of commercial real estate, and the majority of it comes from not selling, like sacrifice. Like, I could get that Lambo, or I could shut up and drive the hybrid. Yeah. And so, yeah, it's like, what's more important, quality of life when I'm older or the ego?
Yeah. And it's taking that active income, like you said, that flipping, and putting it into a passive asset.
That's all and when we started, think about it. It wasn't like money was plentiful like it is now. I mean, I have to do a flip or flips in Paradise Valley, wherever, do some higher end stuff to pay for the commercial down payments and stuff like that. So it's also like easier down here to get commercial loans or whatever it's worth. But like I said, so the last event that I actually did, we took on like 8 people to do commercial with, and it ended up being very successful. Some people I'm still doing business with.
Nice.
So yeah, doing some multifamily stuff.
Going to how you were saying before the podcast started, that I think you said you do a little of everything. You're proud of just being. Yeah.
I think again, being in different aspects of commercial and doing single family stuff, multifamily stuff, maybe I didn't scale a model that has where people have a system put in place. Yeah. And they scale that and then they rack it up. But I have friends that have done that are stuck right now because their model's dead. And so I literally, in my gratitude this morning, I was thinking, like, I'm so thankful for being able and have these experiences to do all these different things, because it gives you a different view of the landscape. It allows you to kind of step in, step out on different opportunities. Yeah, and take advantage of it.
I like you said that, because the system, like, that's a big word. It's very important, right? It's part of business. But same here, and as a wholesaler, it exposed me to flippers, landlords, commercial, multifamily, mobile homes, land. Like, I think wholesaling made me a diverse investor, where, not that I'm the best in any of those, but I could play ball at any time in any of those. Yeah.
I feel the same. Like,
I love that.
I feel the same. There's a very successful person in the Valley. I'm not going to say his name, but you would know it. And we partnered on a handful of deals. I have a ton of respect for him, but he would say, dude, you work way too hard for your money. Because, these guys, they get something under contract, they tweak it a little, and they exit for big numbers, right? I think that's okay. I have a ton of respect for it, but at this particular moment, it's just working out. I don't mind working hard. Like, I would say, I was thinking about this today. Like, the big thing, I think, for people, if you're not where you want to be, is take more action. Yeah. There's no substitute for hard work. Like, right now, I'm more, like, to flesh this model out that I fleshed out. Like, I've burnt through, like, just a lot of time and money, but I've recouped it, right? Like, it's not like it's gone. So it's like, but I've took massive action. I was like, I'm just going to keep working this model till I figure it out. And really, it's hats off to Zach Keeps. Like Zach, has 400 rentals roughly. Guy's killing it, but you can't duplicate his system. You could duplicate the process, but not exactly. So like, I found a lender that will lend up to 10 units at a time, like a 10-plex. But unlimited, and it's all done online, and it's like automated, and it's like I'm approved in minutes, and I could do it in 3 days. Like, so, and I don't mind sharing any of this information with anybody. Like, so I just had to take and improvise what Zach does and find backfillers. Because, I mean, guy's been doing it for a long time. He's got tons of equity.
Right.
And Zach is a wealth of information.
He shares it all.
He will give it all away and just grab onto whatever you can. I think for myself, I'm like, okay, we have a decent portfolio. I can't duplicate what you do, Zach. Like, hats off to you for doing what you've done. So I have to find a different avenue to do your model, and I could scale it, but I needed to figure out a couple things. So I used Tim Fazio, Certain Lending. You guys could go to Certain Lending. Okay. It's easy process. They do about $100 million a month. They're in 48 states. So,
is that multifamily only, or
no? Single. So yeah, and up to a 10 unit
acquisition or just refis.
Both. They do a hard money at as low as 9.5%. And I've got rates as low as 6.5% on the takeout for a 30-year fixed.
Great.
So, easy to work with. And the next time you go through, everything populates, so you're not getting 10 or 15 items. So usually like LLC, stuff like that.
Right.
Pretty simple stuff. Yeah. But I mean, that was a win for me, finding that particular lender. Because lending, you have to, you were saying earlier, you have to build your team. Yeah. And so funding is a huge piece of the team. I use Greg and Rob over at Easy Homes for my, you guys may have someone. I'm not trying to throw it.
Yeah, we're just talking.
So I like them because they don't take points fees and stuff like that. They just are straight 12%. So I'm like, all right, well, I know what that is. I do that on the front end. I have Tim's company take it out on the back.
Yeah.
And you just save your receipts and tally them up, pay your money out. Anyways, it's a pretty simple process. It's not rocket science. If someone wants to work hard and do that, to me, it's like you could get a team going. You want to build up, do three this year. You want to do 4 this year. I mean, if you follow that simple model, you just created $300,000 to $400,000 in equity. Okay.
Yep.
If we wanted to take it further on the cash flow perspective, and let's just say it was $2,000 a door, just easy, right? What is that? $8,000 roughly a year?
A year, yeah.
Or excuse me, $8,000 a month?
A month.
So it depends. Like how serious do you want to be and get at this stuff? Commercial's a different beast, but the wins are huge. I mean, we exit and oftentimes they're 7-figure exits, right? The first wholesale deal I ever did I wasn't planning on wholesaling it, but I think we made $300,000 or $400,000 on it. Right.
Obviously. Yep.
Can you still do that in this market? Obviously, if you find a
100%.
Got it.
So here's another thing. Like, you're out there, residential, you might be able to hide a little bit. People will figure out if you're shortcutting people or burning bridges, it's going to come back. So try to protect your name more than anything, right? If you can't do a deal, just face it. Tell people, hey, I'm out. I screwed up. They'll have more respect for you versus dodging it. Sometimes just telling people sucks. Like, it just, but you don't want to, if you're out at dinner and you see that person, you don't want to hide. It's a shitty way to live. So same thing goes in commercial. Like, commercial, it's a smaller, I would say smaller space. So people start to learn what your buy box is. And pretty soon, like, I just work with one realtor though. But people will bring me deals, and so I take them down. It just is what it is. Right. But you get known for, whatever that is. If anybody if anybody out there wanted to learn or has a deal that they want someone to look at, I would look at that deal
all day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'll take on wholesale commercial deals.
Mm-hmm.
I sit in Zach's meetings that he does, his meetups, and no one's in commercial, but like I'll take a look at any commercial deal. I could quickly underwrite it. I could teach people how to kind of underwrite it depending on the asset.
I think that's the biggest piece. And I think you even said it in the very beginning when you learned when you were 24, someone taught you how to underwrite. I think I think that's like one of the biggest, well, it is the biggest skill. One of them you have to have, there's a couple, but to get a good deal. Right?
Yeah.
Because that's the bottom line, right? Is identifying a deal. Because once you identify the deal, then like we said earlier, you can go and find the money. It's finding the deal.
Yeah. So to that, like speaking to you guys out there, if you find a niche, I don't care if it's fixing and flipping, I don't care if it's scraping and doing new build specs, whatever, or commercial. You get your niche and you get good at it, people will want to give you money. People will want to be part of your success. People will offer you money. You could partner with people. Think about it. Like if you're getting going in real estate, like I got going, hey, you put up all the money, I'll give you half. I'll do that. I do it today on commercial. Yeah. Like, hey, you put up the money. No one's making money until this thing makes money. Yeah. But like to give you an idea, this commercial building in Mesa, where it hit 90%, we'll be over $100,000 in monthly income off of it. I mean, we'll put debt on it. We're refining it, but it's still like a really good cash flowing asset. And if most people are not going to go and learn and do that heavy lifting. Again, there's no substitute for hard work. You want to learn a niche, learn commercial. Nobody else is going to. You want to remodel commercial, like nobody else is going to do it. And I'll tell you over and over again, it's 1,000,000 times easier than residential. Yeah. Right? It's just learning something different that's not traditional. It's not like, there's not a lot of meetups for commercial. I haven't seen one yet. Yeah. But like if you could get into that mind frame and learn it, like now you're that industry expert and for people to come to. And trust me, people want to invest in it. How cool is it to go down and say, hey, look at this building we own. Yeah. Like as an investor, like that's the stuff you want to own. Here's the thing. Think about this. On residential, you sink so much money into the kitchens and the bathrooms. And how long do these people stay? A year? Yeah. Okay. And then what do they do to the house? They live in it. So they they touch everything. It's dirty. Okay. This office. Like, this is nice. Did you pick up before I got here? No. It's a place you do business, so it's always clean. Yeah. Yeah. Okay? Like, here's another thing. Like, if people can't pay their rent where they live, what do? They stay for as long until you kick them out. So they become a nuisance. In commercial, your business goes under. What do?
Pack up.
You get out.
Yep, done.
Like point. Yeah. Like, so you're not evicting tenants very often. Like very, very, very few. Like you could have a tough conversation, but they already know. Like, and I'll work with people. Here's another thing. I've never chased anybody after they defaulted. Like, I don't want people hearing that necessarily, but I don't think anybody is listening is a tenant in default. So I feel pretty safe saying, like, if someone's business doesn't make it, I don't need to chase them for a guarantee. It's adding insult to injury.
Yeah, they're already down.
So years ago, I had a smoothie franchise, and we grew it to 50 plus stores. And I got on a couple of zingers and sold the business, and that person defaulted, and I ended up with back rent. Wow. Yeah, and I was like, man, this is tough. I never want, like, it's just, I get it, it's business. But at the same time, I'm like, I have sympathy for people in that space. Like, hey, you took a run for it. You didn't make it. I don't want to force you into bankruptcy. It's just like, let's call it a day.
Makes sense. So going back to on the commercial, if someone brought you a deal, would you keep them in the deal? if you didn't know him and he's brought you a good deal?
Yeah, I've done that, like giving them a piece of it.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, there's different ways to carve that up. If someone wants the fee up front, I'll give you the fee up front. If you want to stay in the deal, it's probably a little bit more lucrative in the long run.
Yeah,
stay in the deal.
Or you want to partner on one, I'd partner with people, like I'll teach you everything about it, and we'll work out a structure on that too.
I remember one of my first flips, you know, people were calling me crazy because I was paying 30%. I gave up 30% of the equity in the deal. And I was like, you know what, I'll take the 70, he'll take the 30, because I would not have the opportunity if it wasn't for his 30%, you know, bringing it to the deal. And I was like, giving up that 30% was so important to me, because now it put me on a track of success, right? Because now I'm like, all right, now I got the model. I understand, you know, I gave up 30% on that first deal, but guess what? I'm not giving it up, you know, going forward now, because I know what to do. But that was in those infancy stages learning. So sometimes you got to sacrifice up front in order to get where you're going.
So I gave up 50, so I guess I was super crazy. But the way I see it,
it worked, right?
100%. Anybody's criticizing, like, what are you doing?
And the reason why it worked for you, right? Because you bought the deal right. The reason why it worked for me, because I bought the deal right.
Yeah. Well, you bought the deal right, and you kept it in line, and you were able to exit correctly.
Yep.
But yeah, I would say anybody like sitting there shaving off every single dollar, just get through the deal, man. Get through the deal. And again, I'll keep coming back to it. There's no substitute for hard work. Like for me, like, you know, no college, none of that. Was vice president of Washington Mutual, ran 6 states for them. I say that all because the president, like by the time I got to vice president status, like they were like, oh, where'd you go to college? And I was like, I didn't go to college. They were like, how'd you make it through the interview process? You would have never, Jay became a very good friend. Jay was like, you would have never made it through the interview process. And I said, yeah, it would have been horrible. Too bad for you guys.
For you guys, right.
Yeah, I was pretty cocky about it. But my point being is he would always say to me, man, you work hard. Like there's no substitute for it. He worked hard too, so he would recognize it. Like to me, it's like you got to take massive action. And the more that you overthink it, the more you're just going to cut yourself short. You like if you're sitting at home and it's the middle of the day, you got to find something to do if you're going to bust into this industry. The other thing is I did this while I worked a traditional job. So I did it on my days off. Like there you go. I had a family of 5 by the time, there was 5 of us by the time I was 24. So I was like, I will not work a traditional job when I'm older. I saw the people around me and I was like, they're like in their 40s and they hate their lives. So I was like, I got to do something because I don't want to be in this position. And so anyways, again, no substitute for hard work. Just take massive action and just go, and don't listen to anybody, and find people that are doing it and network with them. Come to these meetups, you guys. This is where it's at. Like, again, we had 3,000 students, and every single student we had come to one of these meetings. And if they didn't, they probably didn't make it.
Yeah.
You got to come check in. You got to charge your battery. You know, you have to find these different avenues. And so, you know, don't become like that junkie that's just going to all these, we've talked about it, to just like, come to, like, I'm talking about like seminars and stuff like that. Do them, yes, but take action. If you're not taking action, then you're just
wasting time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
So how do we get a hold of you, man? How do we keep in touch with you? How do we send you commercial deals?
Yeah. So
or deals under between $265 and $295.
Yeah. Send me those all day, especially there in the Valley. So Instagram is probably easiest, John_Trautman. Yeah. And then, or email me at john@jtrautman. Yeah. So message me if you guys have deals that, I don't know. We should do a meetup here and talk about commercial. Like people, I'm in. Like I could break it down. Like I think fair, or like let's have Zach come break his model down because it's very similar, and then plug in this different piece. Like
I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Excellent.
like any way that I could help anybody. Like I'm more like I've been thinking like, how do I help people that want to get into the space? I think the best way for me to do it is like through some sort of like a webinar and help people like and put it out there. I don't necessarily haven't put a ton of thought into it, but I get enough questions about it, and then I see people kind of butchering the space a little bit too. I know how to navigate through commercial because I've done it. You can look at.
Right.
I don't post a ton of it on my social media. I just don't post a ton like I used to. I might on my stories just kind of post fun stuff of what I'm doing throughout the day. But as far as my projects, I just haven't done a ton of it. Since I shut down the education company, it just seemed like there was a purpose behind it before. But yeah, I mean, we just finished up literally 5. We're finishing our 5th tenant improvement. So TIs, you guys, is what they call it. Like we're moving like an 8,500 square foot medical facility in one of the spaces.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm getting to like those tenants a lot of them are friends. You know what I mean? It's some of them I wish I didn't have my phone number. This Sunday, like AC's not working. Hey,
right,
Sunday,
right.
Kidding. But
Awesome, man.
yeah, that's social media is probably the easiest. I mean, if someone needs to, they could call me. I'm sure my phone number is easy to find. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have all your information in the show notes. I'm sure I'll definitely do a commercial event or something. So if you're interested in that, shoot us a message. We'll get John in the training room, man.
Yeah, I have a good wholesale guy that teaches people wholesale, and I don't mind like teaching people like how to take it from A to Z. And if you end up wholesaling it, great. I think about the longevity of it, and if you're able to stay in a deal and take it down, and like it's pretty fun.
That's where the wealth is.
Yeah. Commercial real estate's fun. So,
well, John, man, thank you. I mean, we hit on so many topics from commercial to fix and flip to pad split to, I think the only thing we didn't hit was raw land. So,
yeah. Well, next time.
Right.
I'm still getting my feet wet with that.
So we got a way to get in touch with you guys. Reach out to John. And then you all know what to do. Just go to AZREIA.org for any of your information or needs regarding real estate here in the Valley. So, John, man, we just want to thank you for being here.
Yeah, appreciate you guys having me on. Thank you.
Okay, great.
Awesome. Perfect.
Thanks for listening to the AZREIA Show with your hosts, Marcus Maloney and Mike Delpreet. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you found this information valuable, head over to AZREIA.org and learn more about our community.